You know, the wartime years brought promise for fans of the Montreal Canadiens. By the 1944 season, the team was back on track, won the Stanley Cup, and entering 1945, a lot of people thought that there could be a dynasty in the making. They went 38, 8 and 6 in the regular season, but when they made it to the playoffs, they struggled, ladies and gentlemen, against the Toronto Maple Leafs, who would eventually win the title last year in an improbable 7-game victory over Detroit. Now, Toronto was only 2 games over 500 in a regular season, won only 24 games. But what happened in the playoffs was a very interesting thing. It was one of the biggest defeats by the Leafs ever against Montreal in a playoff game. They lost Game 5 by the score of 10-3 when Montreal was on the verge of elimination. But the big story in that game wasn't Montreal winning for a comeback. It was a player in the Montreal lineup that never played a regular season game for Montreal, but played a huge factor in that contest. Now, the silent man, Eddie Emberg, 5'10", 160, had been a high-level skater in the what they call the Montreal senior program for a couple of seasons. Now, he had played in 42 and 43 for the Montreal Royals and the Montreal RCAF. Now, 45 with the Quebec Aces, had a really good 12-game stint and 10 points in the playoffs. He had 11 goals in 19 games combined. He got called up in Montreal for 2 games for the playoffs and scored in that 10-3 victory. Now, he only played 2 games in the NHL ever, and that technically makes him the greatest 2-game wonder in Montreal Canadian history. If Montreal would have made a comeback and won Game 6 and Game 7, Emberg's goal might have been considered the spiritual momentum to get it all done, but never factored out. 46, he found himself with the Quebec Aces, yet again, 19 goals in 31 games. Then 47 with the historic Valleyfield Braves, when he had 23 goals in 40 games. Now, in the next 5 seasons, he played with the Ottawa Senators of the Quebec Senior League, putting up 29, 31, 22, 19, and 11 goals. Now, best season was in 49, where he had 53 assists for an 84-point total. So, actually, Brian McFarland did a book on the Montreal Canadiens a number of years ago talking about Emberg, and the fact was a lot of people thought he was going to make it in Montreal for the next season, but what happened, Montreal regained the cup in 46, and it was onward and upward for Montreal. But it was kind of weird, ladies and gentlemen. Montreal would bring up certain senior league prospects as a replacement call-up. I think Montreal had a few injuries in that playoff, which hurt their prospects against Toronto. We know they lost one game in overtime. But Toronto, like I said, that was part of that mid-1940s dynasty that did a lot to, help people out coming back from the trials of war. And anytime Toronto won a cup back then, it was literally a team effort, because you would never finish first place in a regular season. Finish second or third or fourth, and obviously saved it for the playoffs. And again, but to have Eddie Emberg, part of NHL history, and not saying forgotten, but Montreal Canadian fans, it's not on the tip of their tongue, because anytime you lose to Toronto is bad enough, but when you call up a minor league player and he's basically the catalyst to save you from being eliminated from defending your title, that should get more recognition. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the legacy of Eddie Emberg. If you like what we're doing here, give us a like, comment, subscribe, and requests are always encouraged and considered. Bye.